Hey friends, welcome to Hot Topic Wednesday here on Facebook. And I want to make sure that you have given screen permission to comment while I'm live, so that you still can comment after the broadcast airs on Facebook. So on Hot Topic Wednesday, I want to talk about belly fat. Aren't you tired of talking about losing belly fat? I don't know about you, but I am just like you probably have done. Stand in front of the mirror and lift it and pinch the skin and say, whoa, look at that belly fat. Only to make a cringy face, put the shirt back over and say, oh my God, I got all this belly fat. What am I going to do about this? I hate it. And then you hate yourself and you blame yourself and you're saying things like, I'm not good enough, I am fat, I am old, or whatever things that pop into your head. They're all negative thoughts because you gained a little bit of belly fat. Friends, I'm Heike Yates. I'm the creator of Pursue Your Spark, and for 30 years I have helped women just like you, and specifically women over 50, to live a healthy, strong, and fit lifestyle. And today, I'm sharing 3 strategies to fight belly fat. Yep, but stay till the end because I have a bonus tip that may surprise you. So, when do we normally gain belly fat? Usually during menopause, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal. And this stubborn belly fat just doesn't want to go away. It comes and it sits there and it looks at you. And you can't remember that you ever looked like that ever before. And that you just wanted to say, you know what? I don't want this. I look flabby. I can't fit into my old jeans that I saved since college, because back in college, I could fit into those jeans. Why can't I fit into them now? I weigh the same. I didn't gain much weight, if any, but I just don't fit in those pants anymore. And then you start the comparison trap. Yep, the comparison trap, where you go and you say, wow, look at her. She's my age and she's like totally ripped. Wow, look at her. She's got a toned, tight waist. I bet she doesn't have belly fat. And look at me. I suck. And these are things that belly fat or gaining belly fat can make you feel or think about yourself. But belly fat doesn't determine who you are as a person. It's something we can do something about, and the sooner the better. But I started gaining belly fat. If you've been following me, you know that I've become an athlete and I've done all kinds of crazy fun things like running an ultra marathon and becoming an Ironman triathlete and things like that, which involves a lot of exercise, but also a lot of nutrition and a lot of learning about your body and how your body reacts. And when I was training for a half Ironman, so the distance is about a mile swim, a 50-mile bike, and then you run for about 12 miles. Wrong, 6 miles. You run 6 miles, not 12 miles. I was thinking in kilometers. So 6 miles. And you train for this event. And as I was training for this event, none of my strategies, me who knows so much about nutrition and fitness, none of these strategies helped me lose the belly fat that I started to gain despite my intense training. This really sucked. And I was like, man, maybe I'm getting too much nutrition in, or maybe I'm not working out intense enough. I did everything by the books, but my body just said, girlfriend, you're in a menopause. We're just not going to play with you anymore, and you're playing your games. So I looked at my body, and I'm sure you have in the past as well, and said, I'm just not looking like myself anymore. I'm just flabby. I'm old. I'm like, this gotta go, but it's not going. So he tried different things. And this is when I came across intermittent fasting. And I said, all right, everything I read about intermittent fasting is perfect for the woman in midlife. It helps and heals your gut. It helps your digestion. It curbs the cravings. It has all kinds of good things, but you use your body fat to give you the energy to work out and to function instead of eating more for energy. I was all over that. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it out. Because, of course, I don't just do something and pick something and say, here, you try it out. No, I always try everything that you are learning from me. I've tried, I've explored, whatever it is. I tested it on myself to see if what was promised actually works. Because oftentimes these things sound just too good to be true. Intermittent fasting helped me lose a ton of body fat, gain some energy. My stomach is better, so lots less bloating, definitely less craving, even though I'm eating less and fewer meals. So that to me was like, yay, this was awesome. But today I want to give you 3 strategies that you can start today so that you can get rid of the belly fat and stop talking about losing it. Number 1, and I already touched on it a little bit, is don't compare yourself to others. I know it's so tempting as you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're scrolling, or all of them. You see women that are your age, they look rocking bodies, 6-pack, nice biceps, beautiful body, everything's just perfect. And you're thinking, why don't I look like this? I'm working out and I'm eating healthy, more or less, and I'm watching my wine. Why am I not looking like this? Because you are not that person. Think about that you want to go from where you come from. That means you may be somebody who doesn't really know what healthy eating means. That's never really enjoyed exercise, doesn't really want to do anything until maybe now that the belly fat's kind of creeping up a little bit. Your body type is different. Every woman gains body fat differently. Some around the hips, for most around the hips, some very little, while others gain a lot of belly fat. But the belly fat is not the only thing. The thighs get bigger, the butt gets flabbier. So it's a whole fat distribution thing, but for the most part, it's around the waist and around the waist, below the waist, around the hips. So when you think about that, you are so different. The other thing that also matters is how you're managing menopause. If you're peri, middle, or end, doesn't matter. We all go through menopause very different, and we have very different needs. Now, for myself, I had very few problems in menopause. I know I was just talking about it yesterday to my son, and we're talking about exercising and aging, and that he's now in his 30s and I'm in my late 50s, and how the energy is, and comparing what we do. And I said, it's just after menopause, it's like pushing a rock up the hill. Things get really harder. Your metabolism slows down. You're gaining more fat just because we're getting older, and we're losing muscle mass because we're getting older and the aging process is setting in. So we're dealing about sarcopenia. We're dealing with all these onsets of aging that we can do something about, but it takes effort. And when you think about menopause, for myself, I told my son this, I noticed even with the few symptoms that I had, that when I would ride sometimes, or I do my workouts, and the one thing I would notice is that I would have a hot flash, is that I got really red cheeks and they were burning like crazy. And that's when I knew I had a hot flash. Now, when you're exercising and you're doing something where you're sweating already, and then you're having a hot flash where you're sweating even more, always need a lot of liquids to drink to curb the hot flashes. But so everybody gets through it differently, and that matters too when it comes to belly fat. And then number two is we're getting older. It's just a matter of fact. Embrace that you're getting older. Gray hair, skin is not as shiny, little saggy skin, which also contributes to the look of your skin, that it's more flabby than it actually is. And then you think about, all right, I embrace aging. I can deal with this. I'm okay with this. And that's number three is eat and exercise the right way for your age. Not everybody responds well to high intensity interval training, kettlebell training, and some women's bodies respond like a charm to these workouts. My body doesn't. My body doesn't like this kind of training. It likes a variety, and I'm more of an endurance athlete, so I like things longer period of time rather than short and quick. But so when you think about this, what do you eat is important. How much you eat, what the types of foods you eat. And I'm not talking about a low carb diet. And in the 4-week lean out program, I really break the intermittent fasting process down into 4 different phases where you learn not only how to eat better for your body type, for your lifestyle, for your activity, but also fast better in order for your body to start burning the body fat instead of waiting for you to eat something to use that for your workouts and for your life. And then exercise, like I said, not every exercise is the right type for the right body. And I found that Pilates, strength training, of course, flexibility, and some cardio, and not always high intensity, was what worked for me. And that is what I'm sharing in the 4-week lean out program. You may want to take a look at it and find out if it's for you. I will leave a link in the comments so you can take a look at it. But number 4 should be number 1. Number 4 is give yourself grace. It's okay if you have a little belly fat. It's okay if you're a little flabby. It's okay if you're not looking like in your 20. But you can do something about it by taking into account where you're coming from, eating and exercising the right way, and knowing that you just will not look like the Instagram model or like your old 20s back in the days. But you can be you now, which is a totally exciting opportunity to say, all right, I can do this. And then you get going. And you may start with a 4-week lean out program. And then you decide that for one unbeknownst reason, even though you know exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you fall off the proverbial wagon and you kind of go, oh man, I just fell off that wagon again. It's okay. You know why? As long as you get back on that wagon and keep practicing the techniques and use the tools that you have at that point, you will be successful in the end. It is not a one and done for all. One and done, one and done. It is a process, and you can be very successful in that process through consistency. So these are my 3 strategies to stop talking about losing body fat and doing something about it. Remember, give yourself grace, be patient, and keep going at it. You get better. The more times you fail and get back up, the better you will be next time when you start it again. So don't stop. So if you like this strategy, then join me again next Wednesday for a hot topic here on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Instagram. And I'll want to know what you like the most, what strategy you are going to start with. So comment below, and I'll see you next time. Oh.